Thank you so much for joining. We have Sister Jiang Yang, so she's a urology nurse clinician, as well as Jing Ru, a senior staff nurse. So today, they'll be sharing a bit more about some tips on how you can better manage some of the urinary symptoms that you might have. So before we start, let me just run through some house rules. So today's session is through a webinar. So you at the bottom of your screen, you'll see this Q&A function. There's not that you'll see. So under this Q&A platform, that's where if you click on it, you can type in any questions that you have for Sister Jiang Yan today after her talk or during her talk itself. So Xing Ru will be helping to moderate, and then at the end of the session, we'll then address some of the questions. Then at the end of the session today also, we'll have a short QR code, a small QR code, sorry, for you to fill up and for us to hear your feedback about today's session. Yeah, so a copy of today's slides will be shared with you after if you leave your email with us at the end of the session. Okay, thank you so much. So without further ado, I'll pass the time on to Sister Jiang Yan.
Yeah. I'm Jiang Yan from Urology and Continence Nurse Clinician family. Today, I'm going to share with you about some of the common urinary symptoms and its management, and some of the good bladder habits and tips to bring home. Okay, so what are the common urinary symptoms, which can be frequent urination during day, nighttime urination, and frequent urine urgency, urine leakage, and dribbling after urination. Due to time constraint, we were going to focus on frequent urination during day and nighttime urination. So before we go into the symptoms, can we share about the urinary systems, the structures of our urinary systems? Okay, as you can see from the picture, we have two kidneys, which help us to excrete urine, keep the body fluid balance, and also to filter the waste of our body. Ureter, referring to the two tubes which help to divert the urine from the kidney down to the bladder. Bladder acts as a reservoir to help us store urine, and during urination help to excrete out the urine. And we have this small tube at the outlet of the bladder, which is urethra or lower urinary tract, help to divert the urine out from our body. And the urine produced by the kidney travel down to the bladder to store, which is just like the highway, is a one-way traffic. The urine come down to the bladder, will not go back to the kidney in normal situation in most of us. So since we're going to talk about the urine frequency, then how frequent is normal? I don't have straight answer for you, because the urine frequency is related to a lot of factors, related to the amount of fluid you take, related to whether you are taking any bladder irritants, your urination habit, related to medication you take, related whether you are experiencing any urinary tract infection, whether you have problem like say constipation, any other health problems. I'm going to share with you in details. So first, we're going to talk about fluid volume. How much fluid is enough for us? Before I answer this question, you need to check with your doctor whether you are restricted on fluid intake, which means your doctor or your nurses have ever tell you cannot take too much fluid, only can take certain amount like 1 liter, 1.5 liter, this kind of number. Because in certain diseases like heart disease, kidney disease, or electrolytes or salt imbalance in your body, your doctor may suggest you to limit on fluid intake. If you have no such restriction, you can use this formula, your body weight, like say times 30 ml per kg. 30 ml per kg. Like say if I'm 60 kg, which means I need to take about 1.8 liter of fluid, or 1,800 milliliter a day at least. But we have to take into consideration our activity level, the environment temperature level. If I'm working under hot sun, perspire a lot, then I need to take more to compensate the fluid loss through perspiration. And also the amount of fluid is not only come from the drink we take in, but also can come in from fruits, from vegetables. So since excess fluid contribute to urine frequency, frequent urination, should I take less fluid to avoid such situation? It's not true. And too much fluid also no good, although the urine we pass out burn out the waste products of our body. So we need to have a balance of fluid amount to take in, because too much fluid may overwhelm your kidney. Just like say, if I send a lot of raw products to the factory, your worker will be overwhelmed with the workload. The same thing happened to our kidney. Then hence you have a lot of products, then you come back to our urine production, then you will have a lot of urine. Which also may burn out some of the electrolytes which needed for your body to function. But drink too little fluid, you may avoid frequent urination in certain level, but drink too little also can increase the waste products to build up in your body, cause problem to bladder irritation, cause you to have frequent urination yet with small amount of urine each time. Tips to stay hydrated. Why I'm talking about this? Because in my day-to-day work, right, people will ask, like say, do I need to drink water if I'm not thirsty? I will say yes. Okay, you need to reach the target level of fluid to maintain your normal function, because we need fluid to moist our body, to keep your blood pressure level, to keep your joint flexible. Okay. So research study actually found out the sensation of thirsty will diminish with aging, which means you will not feel thirsty even though your body need the water when you as your age catch up. So how to stay your body hydrated? Maybe like say after wake up from sleep, take a glass of warm water, which can help you not only to hydrate your body, but also to help to get your digestive system start working. And set some alarm or notification to alarm you to take fluid even though you are not thirsty. Drink a glass of water of fluid before your meals, which can help you stay hydrated and also to make your body digest the food better and help you to keep your ideal weight in case you have trouble with your body weight. Add some calorie favoring to your fluid, like say add some cucumbers or lemon into your water, add some honey if you are not diabetic, and check how to make sure whether you are hydrated. You can check on the color of your urine. And avoid unhealthy drinks, like say the popular bubble tea, milk tea. You can take, but not for the purpose of hydrating your body. Okay, set a daily goal as mentioned based on your body weight. Set a number based on your own target. This can help you remind you whether you already reached your target, whether you need to take more, and make it a challenge among your own friend circle, something like the national set challenge. You can make it a grand activity also. Then how much fluid is enough based on your urine color. Your urine should not be transparent like water, and also cannot be like tea color. When your urine is tea color, which means you are drinking too little, you need to drink more. But when your urine is transparent, has no color at all, then which means you are probably overhydrated. You need to cut down the fluid amount. Then next, we're going to talk about bladder irritants. What is bladder irritants? Bladder irritants can be any food, any drink, or any medication which cause irritation to your bladder. Then you may experience symptoms like say urgency for urination. even though the volume not much, or before you reach toilet, the urgency is so strong which cannot be delayed, you may leak urine before you reach toilet. So what are the common bladder irritants? The common bladder irritants are caffeinated drinks, can be coffee, can be tea. And I think most of us already know tea are caffeinated drink because the active ingredient in the tea is caffeine. Okay, and also Coca-Cola, spicy food, citric juice of fruits, dairy products, tomato-based products, carbonated drink, gassy drinks, or alcohol. Okay, so based on this, looks like you cannot take anything. Of course not. You have to try to experiment out. Although I list out a list of common bladder irritants, but is that common bladder irritants is your bladder irritants or not? You need to try to experiment out. Okay, by stop some of the suspected bladder irritants for about 2 weeks. After that, observe for symptoms to say whether have any improvement. Then after that, you restart back the suspected bladder irritants and observe for any reappearance of symptoms over next 2 to 3 days. Okay, if they don't cause any change in your urination symptoms, of course, this so-called bladder irritants is not your bladder irritants. You can try them out one by one. And even if you test out, like say, coffee is a bladder irritant to you, do you need to remove them all from your drinks from your daily life? No, you can try to reduce the amount and also drink on certain occasions. Some of the poor urination habit may contribute to your frequent urination. What do I mean by poor urination habit? Like say you pass urine just in case, like say before you go out, before you hop on a bus, before you go into the meeting, then you turns to go toilet to empty your bladder, even though your bladder never tell you there are urine inside. Or when you pass urine when there is small amount of slight urge, because your parents or your friend tell you it's no good to hold on with urine. Then that are this habit we call poor urination habit. Okay, why is that so? Because as we are human, are social animals. Okay, so your body is designed in such a way, very smart. When the bladder is half filled up, then you will tell you, hey, there are some urine inside your bladder. Do you want to go toilet or to prepare yourself? You should not go when there's small urge, because the common bladder capacity is about 300 to 500. When you reach that amount of urine inside your bladder, then they will send a strong urge to you. You still have time to get to the toilet. So why no good? Why you urinate based on first sensation, based on just in case no good? Because your bladder can learn and adopt based on your urination habit. If you like say every time pass urine around at the first sensation, your bladder will learn, okay, for you, okay, for my boss, the 150, 200 is a normal or full amount. Then your bladder will send you the first sensation even earlier. Okay, then cause you to pass urine at an even smaller volume. Then when you reach 150, 200, then that will be a strong urge for you already. So poor urination habit can slowly, unknowingly cause you problem. So people will ask, will that cause problem to my kidney, cause problem to my bladder? As mentioned earlier, the urine produced by the kidney transport down to the bladder is a one-way traffic. The urine in your bladder will not flow back to your kidney. So will not cause you problem to your kidney, damage your kidney. If your bladder can excrete out the urine produced in your stored inside your bladder. You will not have a bladder, stone, or urinary tract infection. So it's okay to wait for a stronger urge. So from the previous talk, you will already know pass urine, no, just in case no good urination habit, you should avoid pass urine just in case, and just pass urine based on small sensation or first sensation. And when you urinate, try to relax and take your time. Take note of the signs for urination, which we're referring to the strong urge for urination. Some of the medication may cause you to pass urine more often. We are referring to medications like say Lasix or fusimide, or Bumax, which is purely used to remove the excess amount of fluid inside your body. Or another type is called hydrochlorothiazide, which used to treat high blood pressure, which we call diuretic or water pills. If you're taking this group of medication, please check with your doctor, check with your pharmacist, whether you can change the regime. If you are taking the medication once a day and you are experiencing nighttime urination, check with your doctor, check with your pharmacist, whether you can take the medication at lunchtime. If you are taking the medication twice a day, for sure, you have to take them in the morning and tea time, because you should avoid taking them at night time. Remember, this group of medication make you produce more urine, cause you to have an increased amount of urine. So it's not advisable to take them at night. And there are some nitro water pills, which you may know, or like say, if I take barley, if I take watermelon or wintermelon, you may produce more urine. Surprisingly, like some of the lemon, celery, garlic, onion, all this can cause you to produce more urine. But of course, the amount we need to take the consideration of the amount. Let's say if I cook my dinner, can I put in any ginger or garlic? Of course, you can do so, because the amount can be ignored. Urinary tract infection can cause you have urine frequency also, because for urinary tract infection, some of the common symptoms can be frequent urination, fever, smelly urine, cloudy urine, burning when you pass urine, or you may experience pain when you pass urine. But in some of our elderly, you may not have fever, okay, because of the immune system not so sensitive. You may have problem like say lost appetite, feel very tired or lethargic. How you can avoid urinary tract infection? You can try to drink more water if you have no fluid restriction, and take care of your hygiene. For females, try to avoid feminine products and clean yourself from in, from, back. Control diabetic if you are diabetic. If you have diabetic, and if you have frequent urinary tract infection, see a doctor. Try to find out the underlying cause. And by the way, for males, the urinary tract infection is not common. If you have such problem, you need to see a doctor to find out what are the underlying causes. Constipation do cause problem with our urination. As you can see from the picture, the impacted stool can press on the bladder, cause a reduced bladder capacity. Again, your storage room is less, so you need to empty them more often. That is in a lucky situation. In some unlucky situation, if the impacted stool press on your bladder outlet, which is your bladder neck, which can cause you to have to not able to pass urine, or we call urine retention. So it's good to avoid constipation. So the desired stool shape should be sausage-like, either have crack or smooth surface. It doesn't matter. So how to avoid constipation? What is constipation? As mentioned, you can observe your stool shape, but also like say if you are passing motion less than 3 times a week, or you are passing motion less than every other day, then you can call yourself having constipation. Then how to avoid or prevent them? You can try to increase the fiber intake by taking more fruits, take more vegetable, increase your fluid intake, and pass motion regularly. You have a scheduled time to pass a motion, like say every morning after you get up, after a glass of warm water, or after your breakfast. And do not ignore the urge to pass motion. It's different from urination. At first sensation of passing motion, you should go already. Okay, manage your stress level. Some people, when they are stressed, they can pass motion more frequent. But for some of us, when you are stressed, you forget to go toilet. Okay, and also exercise regularly. Diseases and conditions like diabetic can make you pass urine more often, because in uncontrolled diabetic, you tends to the sugar pass through your urine, right, will burn out more fluid as well. That's why you tends to feel more thirsty. And prostate problem can make you not able to empty, or just have the irritation because of the enlarged prostate. So for this problem, please see a doctor to control them, to solve the problem. In my day-to-day practice, some of the patients ask me, how soon should I pass urine after consuming fluid? There is no definite answer, no straightforward answer. Let's say it depends on your hydration level. It's same like say sponge. When the sponge is saturated with water, even you put in 1 drop of fluid, the sponge will start leak fluid already. But if it's a dry sponge, okay, then the fluid will be absorbed by the sponge. Let's say in our system, in our body system, when you drink water, your intestine will absorb the fluid and go to your body system, go to your kidney, then your kidney will filter out the unwanted fluid and eliminate the waste product also. Then after that, come down to your bladder to store. Only reach certain amount, it will inform you that there is need for urination. So no need to worry after I drink a glass of water, why I haven't passed urine after half an hour. No need to worry. You just wait for the sensation, wait for the sign your bladder tells you. Then next, we're going to talk about nighttime urination. The definition is waking up more than once each night to pass urine. Okay, so you may experience the following symptoms, like say pass urine throughout the day and night, every time pass many times with big volume, or you only pass daytime, you don't have problem like frequent urination, but nighttime you get up many times. And also just purely nighttime urination frequency sometimes can have small volumes. So I'm going to share with you in details the cause of nighttime urination. You may experience a lot of urine throughout the day. So which means day and night you're producing a lot of urine, you lost a lot of fluid. So my question comes back to you, are you drinking too much? So look at your fluid intake level, okay? So you can answer this question yourself in uncontrolled diabetic. So if such a case, you need to control your diabetes. Okay, so you may also experience a lot of urine only during night, which can due to inappropriate fluid intake. in terms of type of fluid and also the volume. Then swollen legs, some of the medications, having food which is high in salt for your dinner. So what do I mean by inappropriate fluid intake before sleep? Having soup for dinner, as mentioned, soup, the ingredient can be water pill, natural water pills. Like say if you put watermelon, cucumbers, all this, and also soup are fluid. Then fluid contain caffeine in the late afternoon at night, having night medication with large amount of fluid, or you taking your night medication too late. Okay, having alcohol at dinner time, having fruits, large amount of fruits after dinner, which can cause you to have purely nighttime urination problems. How to improve your fluid intake habit? Only, like say, drink most of the fluid in the early part of the day, reduce fluid intake towards evening, start fluid intake 2 to 3 hours before sleeping, avoid diuretic food or fruits after dinner, and avoid caffeinated drink or alcohol in the evening, avoid soup for dinner, take your medication with just enough fluid to swallow them if you have nighttime urination problem. You can also do raise up your swollen legs if your nighttime urination is due to the swollen leg or heavy legs. What you can do is that take an afternoon nap for your body to reabsorb back the amount of fluid on your legs. Also elevate your leg, but the nap rest should not be more than 30 minutes, because if you take a lot of sleep or long duration sleep, which may reduce your sleeping quality during night. Okay, elevate your leg during the day, which can help you with blood circulations. Also can wear compression stockings or tight stockings during daytime. At the same time, when you're lying down, elevate your leg, you can try to do some exercise like say flex and extend your feet, which can help to move the fluid on your leg back faster. Then another problem, sleep apnea can cause you to produce a lot of urine during night. What is sleep apnea? Which can be very common, in which your breathing can stop and restart many times during sleeping. How you know it? You can ask your partner, do you snore very badly during night? For yourself, you may feel very tired even though you have a long duration of sleeping during night, but during daytime you feel very sleepy as if you never sleep at all. You're waking up many times gasping for air. Okay, if you suspect you have this kind of problem, sleep apnea, it's good to see a doctor so the doctor can do a sleep study to find out, to confirm, okay, your suspicion. Then they can give you advice or treat you accordingly. Other causes can be inability to empty your bladder well. Like say, as you already know, bladder is a storage organ. If you cannot empty your storage, you cannot clear up the storage space, which means you have a less storage space, then you need try to empty your storage space more often. So inability to empty your bladder well can be due to enlarged prostate in males, in men. Also can have a problem like say prolapsed pelvic organ in females, when your organs drop from the original place, obstruct or block the outlet of your bladder, which can cause a partial or total blockage, cause you not to empty your bladder well. If you have such problem, for me, I only can advise you to see a doctor to treat this problem. But for you, what you can do is that you can try to sit down to urine and try to pass urine in the same session twice. Sit down to pass urine, even in men, can help to empty your bladder better. Sit comfortably on the seat and lean slightly forward and rest your arm on your knee or thigh. Then focus on empty your bladder. Take your time. And also double voiding, referring to remain on the toilet seat for another 20 to 30 seconds after your first urination and try to lean even furthermore, which can help you to open the bladder neck or the outlet of your bladder better. And also you can sit on the toilet seat, try to rock left and right, try to rock around and try to relax, then pass urine again, which can help you to empty your bladder better. Another problem is that you have problem filling up your bladder during night, which can be due to your poor urination habit. Like say mentioned earlier, you have a bladder capacity 300 to 500, but because you are passing urine as first sensation 100 to 200, you are passing urine already. Your bladder learned that habit. During night, your bladder carry on with this habit. With small amount also will alert you, say your bladder is full. That's why you get up to pass urine. And you also may have problem like say insomnia, difficult to fall asleep or difficult to stay asleep, not able to fall in. You will have a very light sleep, easily waking up by the small sensation of urgency. Other problem can be you have urinary tract infection, or you have a condition called overactive bladder. Your bladder react to small amount of urine too much. If you have overactive bladder, you have urinary, if you suspect you have overactive bladder or urinary tract infection, please see a doctor. Since insomnia, sleeping can be a problem, how can we solve it? How can you sleep better at night? So what you can do is that try to increase the bright night exposure during day. In a way, expose yourself to sunlight, because sunlight can help you to produce a hormone called melatonin. Melatonin can help you to feel more sleepy during night, can help you to regulate the sleeping cycle and reduce the blue light exposure during evening. Where the blue light come from can be from your laptop, from your computer, from your smartphone, because the blue light can block the hormone, the melatonin, to react on the sleeping cycle. So we will say try to stop using your devices about at least 1 hour before sleeping. Avoid consuming caffeinated drink. As you know, the caffeine make us stay awake, right? And reduce your irregular sleeping during day or sleep too long during day. Try not to sleep in late evening or afternoon. Avoid alcohol at night. Some people will say alcohol can make me sleep better. That can be true, but then can make you wake up earlier. So cause after wake up, you surely go to pass urine when you have slight sensation. And also alcohol is a diuretic, can make you produce more urine. Another point is alcohol are fluid. Okay. Also can take a relaxed showering or bath to make yourself sleep better. Set a routine. Like say, before sleep, you surely brush your teeth. Okay, before sleep, try to take a shower to to make yourself a habit. Okay, after this is my time to go to sleep. Also, don't drink any liquid before sleep. As mentioned earlier, stop drinking 2 to 3 hours before sleep. Also exercise regularly, but try to avoid exercise after your dinner. Make your body very active. Okay, so your exercise supposedly to be before your dinner. After exercise, after dinner, after a hot bath, then it's time for you to sleep. You are relaxed enough, and also because of the exercise, physically you are very tired. So it's a good time to sleep also. So how do I know whether I'm drinking enough? Do I drink the right fluid? Did I take too much of bladder irritants? Am I passing the qualified or a good amount of urine? So it's good to do a bladder diary. Then people ask how to do a bladder diary, whether there is a format for me to follow. I'll say not necessary to follow a format. You just need to chart down what time you drank, what fluid, and what is the amount. Whenever you drink, you chart. And for urination, for each urination, you chart down the time, the volume. The time and the volume. Okay, for every urination, you do that. And also put some marking, like say, I leak urine. I put a cross next to the volume to say I leak a bit of urine before I reach toilet. After urination, after I reach toilet, I pass this amount of urine. So from here, we will say, okay, so you leak urine. It's because the volume too much, or just because you are very sensitive, your bladder very sensitive. From there, we can tell. And also, we will say your urination pattern, like say every night you pass urine at a certain time. 1 o'clock, I surely wake up. 2 o'clock, I surely wake up, irregardless of the volume. So we will ask you, is that your sleeping, you have some sleeping problem, or your biological cycle wake you up? May not be the urine wake you up. And also, we'll look at the fluid you take in, whether you say I need to take about 1.8 liter of fluid, but I'm not taking it in the morning, early half a day, but I take towards late evening, because at that time after work, I have time to do it. Then you cause your own self trouble to pass urine during night. So actually, after this bladder diary, when you look at it yourself, you can analyze, give yourself some answer. Then you can do some changes, say whether you can improve your urination problem, improve your symptoms, so you can be your own doctor. And also based on the chart, you can tell whether that is a purely man-made problem, or do I really have, I need to see a doctor to solve some of the problem. So we'll see, so here is some of the reminder for your good urination habit. Drink your fluid wisely, and keep your bladder capacity. Try not to pass urine at first sensation. Use up the capacity. Use up the storage space given to you. Okay. And empty your bladder better. Sit properly when you pass urine for ladies, and also try not to push too hard to pass urine, because that can cause problem waking your muscles below. So my advice, look at your own lifestyle and urination habit. If try to change it based on your chart, based on your diary, okay, and see a doctor if after your change, if you still have problem or if you are unsure. So I'll say these are the advice I'm mentioning in general. If you are suspecting or if you have problem, please see a doctor to confirm and treat accordingly. These are my reference. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Sister Jiang Yan. I think without further ado, if you have any questions, please feel free to pop it in the Q&A segment. Yeah, so for now, I think we have quite a few questions coming in. So I'll hand over the time back to Sister Jiang Yan to answer some of your questions.
Okay. One audience actually asking, aside from urine color, how else will I know that I might be drinking too much fluid or more fluid than what I supposed to drink? So I would say you should have, maybe it's good to have a bottle with marking, or at least you are aware how much your water bottle contains. Based on that, you can more or less have some idea how much fluid you are drinking. I will still say the urine color can have a good reference for you to say whether you are drinking enough. But I will say in some of the patients, if every time you are passing not much urine volume, as you can see, as you already know, in the toilet bowl, there are a lot of water. After you pass urine, then you stand up, look at the color. Maybe the urine already diluted by the water in the toilet bowl. Okay, so I will still suggest you only pass urine when you have a strong sensation with good volume. Okay, look at the color and measure your drinks. More or less have some idea how much you are drinking, and they suit how much you're drinking also. Another question is that sometimes I have urgent sensation to pee with urine leak, but the urine volume is not much. What could be the reason for this? I have fibroids. Could this be one of the reasons? I would say yes, because our female organs, our reproductive organs are very near to our bladder. That can be one of the problems. Like say your bladder not able to, the capacity can be reduced because of the fibroids. But then you should have some urgency, but you should not leak urine. When you leak urine, I'll say can be problem like say your pelvic floor muscle, the muscle can be weak, or you have some other problems. Do you have problem like say urinary tract infection? I think it's good to seek your gynae advice, gynecology, your doctor advice. Okay, another question is that my colleague likes to drink coffee and tea and not water. What should I advise her? So as mentioned, bladder irritants can be our own bladder irritants, may not be her or his bladder irritants. If she, after drinking coffee or tea, she have no problem, then it's okay for her to carry on or for him to carry on with the drinking habit. If she or he experience problem, that is only convincing for her to change, for him to change. But I would say coffee and tea are bladder irritants, diuretics. It's good to avoid to drink in the late afternoon or night. And drink too much also can cause problem. Okay, everyone not like to address their own name, so I'm sorry, I don't know who posed the question. Okay, another person say, when I sneeze, there is usually leak of urine. Do I need to see a doctor? You may need to see a doctor, but you also can follow some of, if no purely no other reasons, you only leak when you sneeze, when you cough out loud, that can be due to weak pelvic floor muscle. You can do pelvic floor muscle exercise or Kegel exercise, where you can see them, right? You can actually search in YouTube to see whether the exercise can help you. But since it is a muscle exercise, which means we want to build up the muscle, right? So 1 or 2 times you do will not help. People do muscle training will know take time to build up muscle. So you need to have a regime for yourself and be consistent to this training, to the exercise. Is there a way to reverse body habit of frequent urination if it's already happened for many years? Yes. Like say, I'm mentioning because your poor urination habit, because you pass urine based on first sensation, your bladder already adapt to the volume. But we can change, since it's called a poor habit. Like say, if we have bad habit, our parents, our friends always ask us to change, right? We can change the habit, but will not be easy. You need to be determined. Okay, so what I'll advise you is that every time try to delay the sensation 5 to 10 minutes, or try to divert your mind, distracting yourself from the sensation of urgency. And through a persistent or determined training, you can change it. So all the bad habit you cannot change overnight, I'll say. Okay. How do I get enough sunlight or melatonin if I do shift work, like say night shift, or I'm working in office the whole day? So you can stay near the window. Like say there, if you're working in the office, you can shift your table, or if possible, to near the window, or leave the blank of the window up. And if you are doing night shift, on the morning you walk back, you can expose yourself. Weekend also can expose yourself more to the sunlight. But by the way, melatonin itself may not be suitable for everyone. There are supplements. Okay, you can ask your doctor whether they recommend you. Can I supplement with vitamin? Yeah, there are melatonin supplements, but I would say it may not be helpful for everyone, and the amount should be determined also. So you can check with your doctor for how much you can take. Okay. Another question from Shirley Wang. Okay, I pee before sleeping, but I still need pee at least once middle of night, even when I sleep. Last water intake is about 2 hours before. I feel very thirsty, even if I drank about 100 or 100 ml of water every other hour. Can it be due to premenopause symptom? Okay. What is my advice? Okay, I will say, like say, when I reach certain age, like say when we're teens or 20s, we don't wake up to pass urine, even we take fluid before sleep, because there is hormone help protecting us to make us to able to sleep through, rest well. At certain age, the hormone level can be reduced. That's why we get up to pass urine. That's why I advise you need to keep yourself hydrated well, but you need to take your fluid wisely. Also, like say, take more in the early part of your day, reduce towards evening, and stop drinking 2 hours before. So the fluid intake need to be wise. There are 3 steps. Take more in the early part of your day, reduce towards afternoon and evening, and stop drinking 2 hours before. If you still feel thirsty, you can try to sip or gargle during night. Try to gargle in the night instead of drinking, like say 100 or 50 ml of fluid. And also, like what else you can do is that try to go for evening exercise. Evening exercise brings 2 reasons for you for evening exercise. One thing is that to make you sleep better. So you can, when you are asleep, deeply, you can avoid waking up with small sensation. Another thing is that through exercise, if you're able to perspire some or free up, then the night urine production can be less. So did I address your question? Okay, so
Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Sister Jiang Yan. So, yeah. So thank you so much for all your questions. Hopefully, Sister Yang was able to answer your questions. If not, because we're also quite close to the end time for our talk, if any further questions, you can just type it into the chat. Then our speaker will then answer at the end of the session. Yeah. So, with that, without further ado, I think I'll just have some closing announcements first. Let me just switch the slides. Yeah. Okay, so if you found today's talk really useful, please scan the talk or scan the QR code to just fill up a short feedback form to let us hear your thoughts and also how we can improve our next health talk for you. Yeah, so at the end of it, a copy of the slides will be sent to you if you leave your email with us using the feedback form. And if you're interested to find out any upcoming Central Health talks that will be happening later part of the year or within the next few weeks, kindly follow us on our Facebook page as well as Instagram pages by scanning the QR codes that you see on screen. Yeah, so if not, thank you everyone. So we've come to the end of today's health talk. If you have any questions, feel free to drop in the Q&A section again. Our speakers will be around to actually answer your questions through the chat. Yes, thank you.